Firebam by HAL Laboratories was released exclusively on the Famicom disk system in 1988. In it, you take on the role of Bam, a young hero who's on a quest to restore his parents to their proper form and save his village. Swing the sword with B. This can be done continuously by holding the button down. Up and B to swing the sword in a circle, and down and B to swing from below. Many of the well-armored enemies are particularly vulnerable to this attack. You often don't even need to swing your sword at all, since Bam is otherwise pointing it forward, and simply touching enemies with your blade is often all it takes to defeat them. Jump with A. You can jump a little higher with down and A. You can't jump forward unless you're already moving that direction, and if you're running, you'll get a whole lot more height on your jumps. Press up to enter doorways. Fortunately, you don't have to be perfectly lined up to do this. There's a doorway to go to and from your village, other doorways take you into shops, and these really tall ones are for levels. There are two types of levels. In the auto-scrolling ones, hold forward to run faster and back to go slower. The controls are otherwise the same as in the rest of the game. These levels are typically short and packed full of enemies. In the dungeon levels, you'll need to find keys to open gates, and there are elevators that take you to various paths. Once you're on one, press up or down to move in that direction. Tougher enemies tend to reside in dungeons. At the end of both types of levels are boss fights. Some of the early bosses are super easy, but they quickly increase in difficulty. Each time you defeat a boss, the world expands, adding new levels and shops. This will also sometimes add a new building in the village, so be sure to check back periodically. While you're there, talk to your parents to replenish your health and save your progress. You can pause the game with Select, or open your menu with Start. Here, you can equip different swords, shields, and boots that you've acquired. The sword and shield that you have equipped are shown at the top middle of the screen. To the left of this are your lives and keys, and to the right, your life and fire, which is used as currency. Strange, but not unheard of for a Japan-exclusive video game, Firebam is completely in English. It's also a lot of fun and a great game, but unfortunately is not without its share of flaws. Bam is fast. Too fast. In a foot race between Mario and Sonic, Bam would win. There is no reason for him to be this fast, and plenty not to be. Projectiles will bounce off of certain shields or can be deflected by swinging your sword, but if an enemy's right on top of you, you're going to take damage. So when fighting a large boss that moves from one side of the screen to the other, the obvious answer is jump over it, but this proves to be easier said than done, since Bam can only jump straight up and down unless he's already in motion, and there isn't a lot of room to maneuver during these fights. The most detrimental flaw, however, is the excessive loading and changing disc sides. Most double-sided FDS games will only have you change the disc one time, and that's usually right after the title screen. And then there's Firebam. Insert the disc on side A, or obviously you're going to get the side error message, but this step seems as pointless as it is crucial, since once you're there, it just tells you to go to side B. Here, you're graced with the title screen. Choose New or Continue, and then it tells you to go back to side A. Almost every door you go through will trigger the loading screen, unless it's for a level. Then you'll have to go back to side B, and once you beat that level or get a game over, guess what? Back to side A, and repeat the process for every level. On the bright side, you have infinite continues and one save file. Overall, I'd rate Firebam 4 out of 5 stars. If you've already played it, how well would you rate it? Or if you haven't played it yet, do you intend to? I'd love to read all about it in the comments. Thank you for watching, liking, and sharing this video, as well as for subscribing to my channel.